learning vocation and job-specific skills has its merit, but I feel the way we have approached a lot of this right now, I disagree with. I think we've, in general, just tried to do simple forms of vocational skilling, which will get you maybe a little bit of an advantage over being unskilled, instead of focusing on trying to be excellent at a skill. Right? And I think in areas where we've focused on excellence, like nursing or medicine or engineering, we've gone on to create massive human capital, and like we have exported that. We've also been able to leverage and build industries like the IT or the startup ecosystem, thanks to a plethora of that human capital, because we didn't aim at just enough. I feel if we aim at excellence in teaching, in manufacturing, in skills around services, I feel like we can be the talent factory for the world and export a lot of talent and services and build organizations that create value out of it.
So I think technology plays a very important role in livelihoods overall, because this just the sheer scale of our country. We're talking about millions of people who require fresh livelihood, retraining, digital landscape, digital literacy. So I think investing in technology and the right kind of technology, open source solutions, digital public infrastructure, digital goods is the need of the hour. And I feel a lot of the social enterprise sector itself is moving there, but a lot needs to be done by the nudge and push of organizations, funding organizations who can support such innovations.
So I think the founder ecosystem, to develop it, we need one more partner, which is government, if you're looking to scale. And that's where funders can play a much larger role. We have access a little bit more than startup founders. Without a problem statement to be able to build out a template for success that government can then support, or government can then partner and take to scale. Without that, it's very hard for founders to be able to knock on doors and open it, and that's where this ecosystem building can happen. And it can be for a large number of founders together, looking at different problems that we're trying to solve, either together or separately.
So the catalytic funding is quite essential for the early stage startup. For example, in our case, with the help of the philanthropic or the catalytic funding, what we could do is we could try and test the models. Right? We were not sure about what exactly would fit in particular geography. This fund actually helped us to revisit our models, which otherwise would have not been possible in case we would have taken the funds from market. Right? So, for example, just to find out the right market fit, you need some amount of time and that iterations, which could only be possible with the help of these catalytic funds.
I think my biggest call to funders, including ourselves, especially in livelihoods, would be to take risk, to really look at funding things that others are not funding. And I say that because I think India has for decades now experimented deeply with on-ground models for livelihoods, and I think all of us recognize that innovation is going to be really important. There are ways in which we can use tech to scale some of these efforts. Yesterday we heard in a session about how Gen AI is creating a new wave of data jobs. But realizing that innovation by default, by nature, is risky, and what that means for a funder is not all of your grants therefore are going to yield impact in a predictable manner, and I think that's a really important mindset shift. We obviously want to be resourceful as funders in the philanthropic space, but often that leads us to actually not take risks. We want the satisfaction that every rupee that we're putting in creates some impact. But my request to funders would be the exact opposite. Innovation cannot happen. We cannot get new models that will scale and that are suited for the next few decades unless we experiment, and therefore we have to take risk. As funders, we have to be okay with failures, and actually our success really is in the failures. In the 7 models out of 10 that don't work are lessons on what we shouldn't do. And so, those lessons on both what's working and what's not working and how that will get us to rapidly innovate will only happen if we're okay with both successes and failures. So again, clarion call, funders, take risk.